afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero, Select Defender of the Fatherland. Off here an exciting 2 versus 2 on Moscow outskirts. In the north, you got Shadics, ARG, and Pantherfame fighting here for the Soviet Union, socialism. The Second Guards Mechanized Corps tasked with clearing out this fascist-held position under the command of Kaster and, well, this is Korean, so I can't read that. We'll just call him Dieter. Dieter here forming up the Panzergruppe von Strachwitz. We got Lend-Lease, conscript support, got rifle, mechanized, and shock rifle versus Festung armor, assault support, or Sturmunterstützung, Jäger armor, Luftwaffe ground forces, special operations, and elite armored with a mix of infantry, elite infantry, mine, half-track, Katyusha, bunker, machine gun, you name it, bulletins. We got the Sturmpanzer under the command of Kaster rushing forwards to the house here near the cuff point here. Kaster playing hyper-aggressively here with the Sturmpioniere, leading forwards for the fatherland. Alright, Ludwig, I want you to keep an eye on the road, while the rest of us lay down. Ah, scheiße, Ludwig, I told you to keep watch. Pioneers moving up eastwards. We got the infantry company up there for Dieter with the Grenadier MG4 to start. We got a special rifle command out here for Pantherfame straight into the scout cub, which is in fact what he's got the bulletin for. Meanwhile, Shadics, ARG's engineers sort of slightly ponder what they're supposed to be doing. So, do you remember something? No, I think, yeah, we were supposed to build something. And before to come in the car points, pioneers up here, we can basically see both sides sort of looking to disrupt and sort of take up vital position. In this case, the Germans, I think, slightly got hit, in part because, at least for Pantherfame, initially they slowed him down. As for Shadics, just a more conventional capping order, whereas Dieter here was more aggressive. We can now see Pantherfame and Shadics are basically hitting Dieter in the east, who's a bit without support. Kaster can't really easily support him either, so this could very well end up, at least initially, being a good victory tactically for the Russians in the east side here, as Dieter is being swept away like a sandcastle before a mighty wave of socialism. Down at the beach, of course. Sniper on the way there for Pantherfame. You got a scout convoy of the Shadics, OGs, the Second Guards Mechanized Corps striking for motorized tactics here. Looking to sort of overwhelm the Germans very fast. Probably pop flamethrower engineers to both the scout car, which is going to be difficult for particularly the Oberkommand Westplane to deal with. Also, out counters any scout cars, so this could very well also force Dieter then to have to consider going for 2-2s to counter this, which of course further narrows down when the Russians can then just give them more option that way, because they can just preemptively prepare them for Guardsmen, which can then help deal with the 2-2 here. So I mean, this is a sort of in a sense, aggressive strategy we're seeing from both Soviet players here, and one again that sort of can force the Germans down specific paths, which of course makes it easy for the Russians to then determine what counters they want to go for. So this is starting out pretty aggressively. We got a kid out here for Kaster to help support his vehicles until Dieter might go for the 2-2 there. We'll have to see if he does go for it. He's got other plans, but our way double M3A1s is a bit of a rare sight in 2 versus 2s. Mostly it's like lots of snipers or maxims from the Soviet players, but double scout cars is less usual. Though we do see Pantherfame here with a sniper. At the same time, though, while Pantherfame can sort of exert a lot of firepower, he doesn't actually have a lot of ability to hold ground, so he's rather relying on Shadics, who doesn't have a lot of infantry either. So if the Germans like push heavily in infantry and counter the scout cars, they might have something to work with there. But as you might notice again, double scout cars, double flamethrowers, very good chance of actually wiping out units that can coordinate it, and absolutely no Pantherfire or anything like that here from the Volkskamp needs to stop that. He's got no tech up yet. He's going to have to go be faster about that, and of course so does Dieter. Meanwhile, Dieter there leading the Grenadiers and the MG42 securing the eastern side here. Volkskamp on the run, because in this case there's a bit of lack of coordination perhaps between Shadics. Matt missed out on to wipe Volkskamp scored our way. The scout cars roll back here. The motorized fist of Stalin retracts for now, ready to punch the fascists on the nose once more. Consequently, there's the flamethrower engineers. MG42 makes grab the eastern fuel point. Mortar on the way there for Dieter as well. So far showing no concern with the large number of motorized vehicles from the Red Army. In the south here, there we go, Trot on the way. Take up almost down there for Dieter of the Panzergruppe von Strachwitz, a sort of ad hoc armoured formation created in the Baltics out of 2 Panzer Brigades. One was an SS, the SS Panzerbrigade Gross, which actually formed up from a training depot of the SS, and the 1st Panzer Brigade, which was actually one of the few Panzer Brigades actually to see service on the Eastern Front where they're supposed to fight. So a little fun fact there. Further fun fact is the Russians actually feared for Schlachwitz, Hyacinth von Schlachwitz, well, he was a Graf, which is a German title there in Eastern Prussia, and well, they basically called him the Devil's General. So they were clearly very much respecting him in that sense. But Pantherfame here, the first one, the Docks and Mechanized Support, which of course means IJUs. Have seen a slight increase in those lately in team games. I'd like to make a nice company going up there for DT. Going to be standing about here. Medics up here, so they're going to be relying on that. MD42 making its way back. Big push here for the calf point. At least trying to stall the Russian fuel acquisition and stuff. The Eastern fuel is so far not being held by anyone. And Snarfire there continues to be an absolute nuisance. A thorn in the side of the German army. Cause a great asset to the Soviet one. It gets a bit too close, and this time we do have Pantherfame. Oh, I think he's trying to bait him into making him think he doesn't have them, and then once the other squad is close enough, he then unleashes the trap. Sneaky Kaster, sneaky. In this case, the scout car still gets away, so that didn't quite. Oh, never mind. Looks like Shadics moves in, doesn't care. Petrov, they have Panzerfaust. Don't care. I want to kill as many as possible. I'm gonna die anyways. Guardsman out there for Pantherfame. Fulton being pursued here, flanked by Shadics. Let's move up behind. Also, in this case, got for the Kedden effort. Nice flank there by Shadics. Stravniki. Mortifying down the penal troopers, taking out Dimitri with quite a thump there. And there we go, as predicted, to out here for Dieter to help counter all these scout cars. But so far, no doctrine for any other players. Steel parts grabbing the fuel point here. Bit risky. I mean, there's no tank weapons nearby. If a scout car rolls in, there's two about still, though they need some repairs. They could be wiped out. So this is a bit risky there, to be honest, by Kaster. Highly risky and could backfire on him, to put it mildly. Scout car moving out in the east there. This is Jürgen reporting. Nothing here. Yeah, because the Russians all over there, you Dummkopf. Gonna stay with light machines were being overwhelmed. There you go, push back. Stone Pioneers wiped as predicted by a scout coming with a flamethrower. In this case, Kaster got suitably punished for his tactical transgression there. Mortar needs to fall back here. The scout car is damaged. It is still a pretty exposed position there. Dieter's got his mortar firing from. 2-2 rolling in towards the centre. We got more guardsmen there for Pantherfame, just going heavy on them. Very standard Soviet move at the moment. Get as many guardsmen on the field as you can and just begin, laying down that heavy fire. The noting so far, none of them. Oh, there you go. DP light machines at least on the way for one squad. Flak after growing here for Kaster. Shadix has gone for Lend-Lease, opening up for M3A1s or M4C Shermans. Discus. And half tracks with Guardsmen, and there go 2-2 pursuing the snipers. Still some time before it becomes easier for the 2-2 to actually counter a sniper hard. But I'm guessing here that Dieter wants to get some training in preparation for the time where the 2-2 can actually properly harm them. Otto, why are we doing this? We should be waiting for the patch. I don't care. I want him dead. But the patch. The patch. Flak after being caught in a pretty bad spot. Pretty risky there. And most of the shots fail heavily to connect with pop smoke there. Grenadiers moving in. Fuel point in the east being secured there. So far looks like the Russians will be getting hit and fuel there of the German army, which is not good. Neither German player boy has yet to commit there. Scout coming in, 2-2 flanking, Grenadiers supporting Guardsmen out in the open. There gets the car, but there he goes. Some hits from the 2-2 on the Scout car, but almost getting taken up by the Guardsmen. And there you go, flanking with Olive Fit with penal troops with anti-tank rifles. Might be taken out here. Scout, flag half track down, scout car down. This is horrific. Kaster definitely pushed the scout car a bit too far. Gets the scout car, but the penal troops get out of it pretty safely. So this is so far looking pretty bad for the Germans. They might actually be able to get the scout cars, but the damage they have suffered, the losses incurred, have been much higher than I think was worth for the scout cars. Like, the scout cars have paid off imminently for the Russians. For the Germans, the flat half track and the 2-2 did not amount to too much. We got Punskers on the way there for Dieter. I think that is definitely a solid choice there. Full screen moving forwards there for the fatherland. Moving it past a sea of wreckage. Should probably salvage them. That's to be about 15 fuel, which is more than he's earning per minute. So that would be a really good idea for him to grab. Got snipers take up by penal to the squad. SPT-40 singing out a dirge to the Hitlerite scum. In the east, there's some light skirmishing as we can see. Dieses one more trying to push eastwards. So far, though, the German army is finding itself heavily on the defensive here against the Russians. Heavily. Trying to catch the snipers here. Really intent, and there you go. Gets one of them, but the other one manages to sneak away, avoiding death at the hands of the German army. At least for now. Replacement steel pioneers of Kaster troops in reinforcing. Pack 40 on the way there for Dieter. Panthers being suppressed by a machine gun. Disco here set up nicely. Laying down heavy 50 caliber fire and mortaring down the church with a flamethrower unit. It's probably not going to have much of an impact fast enough. And he's actually sending out the sniper with no reinforcements and following up here with a T-70. Pantherfame going aggressive as Shadics is seemingly stalling. Probably going to plan to just move straight for the next big armor there, and is just going to use the discus and the infantry to just keep up pressure. So we'll see how that works out. Looking rough though for the German army, looking very rough. Light infantry on the way there. Panzergrenadiers awaiting the replacement. So far, barely any map control here for the German army. Victory points wise, they're also lagging heavily behind the Russians. There we go, merging with engineers. Very good tactical decision there by Shadics. Very good decision. Grenadiers doing what they can there for Deutschland. Laying down a vicious spew of hatred against the Russians. And the West here, full charging force, assault rifles blazing left and right, overwhelming the Russian line. And there you go, Kaster in the negative cover, being suitably rewarded for their inability to take cover. You got Kevin moving up line for gun make so the lightest infantry go shots. Got conscripts of penal support flanking against the Grenadiers. Pioneers bring up transport over the flank of the effort. Rough stuff here, rough stuff. There you go, conscripts being pushed back. Grenadiers though are being pushed to their very limits. And we find out it's got some fresh harassment on the west side. Still no doctrine for the German army, for Deutschland. Moving up here, like Kedner sweeping ahead, trying to catch that T7, knock it out. It's not quite working out. Kaster dealing with the foot at range, though they might find themselves pushed off. And Dieter here adding in a second Granaden there for additional artillery support here. Probably against these two machine guns, laying down or creating a bit of a no-go zone for any German infantry. Shadics there, calling their support, and he was indeed pulling here for Mechanized Armor Company. Let's see, he goes for T-34, so he goes for the M4C Sherman. All the way fuel inbound there. Smoke screen down, going in attack rounding here. Note the trick to dealing fire damage here through the smoke is actually trying to attack round right next to the church, because if you try to order them to directly just attack the church, they're going to try to walk up to it. So the key to using the flamethrower pine is to clear out any building you're smoking is attack round right next to it, because flamethrower is AoE weapon, so as long as you're attacking roughly the right spot, it'll still do damage. So a little fun fact there, a little tip as well. For those that weren't aware, it certainly took me a bit to figure that one out. Half-track on the way there for Pantherfame, the M5 half-track. Interesting choice here. You rarely see the M5 half-track, though I would say it's actually pretty good. But there you go. Wipe there on the engineers, counter there, or at least almost a wipe. Shadics forced back, heavy casualties. Deutschland stands mildly successful. But not wildly, and certainly still needs to push harder here to push forward ahead. Take up there for Dieter. Kaster with nothing further going on there as he throws himself at the Russians with all fervour. Again, as it's up, gets got it in the T-70, penetrating the thin armour there frontally. You could maybe consider an MD-34 to help contain some more of this infantry. That would, I think, help out Kaster a bit, in particular as the Guardsman. A well-positioned MD-34 could prove shows they're useful. But Dieter here with the eastern side open up, bursts through. Grabbing machine guns, I imagine, and securing points as well. Very good work there. Very good work by Dieter. Punishing Shadics there. Of course, he's about to get punished hard by Shadics and his T-34-76. Though he does have one Pack 40, it will nonetheless struggle with the T-34 if it's well supported. Tech almost done there. West side there repulsed, but still got a bit to the fuel pump. And we got the M5 half-track out there for Pantherfame. The M5 was the Lend-Lease half-track the Americans used, because it actually had softer armour than the other half. It was the M3, which basically meant it wasn't quite as amazing, so they're more than happy to hand that one out to the Allies, the Brits and the Soviets. Further fun fact about the M5 was it actually had initially mounts, you can see there, for additional 50 cal machine guns to be mounted in the side of the half-track. So in theory, an M5 half-track could actually drive around with 3 50 cal machine guns firing all directions, though it was rarely utilised. It's only one of those things I'd love to see Relic actually do. It would look kind of neat. But anyways, Little fun fact there. Little fun fact. After they're laying down heavy fire with the quad 50 caliber machine guns. And we got another fuel drop there for Shadics. German army still desperately short on fuel. No fuel catches up here from Dieter to maybe sort of alleviate that critical fuel shortage. And there you go. T-54 some 6 million gun to try and flank behind. He's expecting it to come from here, but not there. Clever move by Shadics, clever move. Machine gun bunkers up. Not a bad idea there by Dieter, but again, it leaves a slight gap there. Hit down the T-34 some 6 flamethrower using up. Mortars, machine guns all turning on to deal with this unexpected Russian assault. As Shadics bear down like a ton of bricks on Dieter. Pack 4 turning around. He could get the T-34. They could get the T-34. Shadics probably should have timed things a bit better. They're not seeing the T-34 so far without support. Almost got the Pack 4 there, the signal from the T-34. And the T-34 think escapes it. In the center, we have Hunter's course up. Troops rushing forward. But it's almost down. He needs to stop them. He needs to stop the penal troopers. Oh, everyone's just shooting at them. Everyone's shooting at them. Allowing the guardsmen to get away. He needs the desperate fighting continues. Machine gun bunker standing. Gets an engineer squad then retreat. Shadics suffers some loss there. Going for a Kushina trying to blast through here. Dieter's defensive line there. Go heavy mortar fire. Raining down to the heavy machine gun. Almost taking it out there. Push up here for Kaster support by 2 Academy members in to breach the desolate landscape. No support call yet here for Dieter, though he can't really do a lot with it. They still need fuel desperately. And Kaster sending ultra far off. He could consider some orbital damage. Definitely also should consider doctrine. But there's so far very large shortage of doctrine in the German army. Pantherfame here apparently deciding he needs more snipers. And Shadics Katusha there is done. Hitting these some fuel pony, hitting the point down south as well. Machine gun bunker not quite repaired. Back here healing enforcement. Need to be careful with the academy efforts. Schwerpanzer's course being repaired. No Obersoldaten. Medic bunker up here, basically deciding he doesn't want to manage here. Obviously could have maybe tried placing it around here, in which case we could provide better support for both headquarters, but so be it. Heavy machine gun left to cover the fuel pond there. And now the Germans are at least getting some fuel here compared to the Russians, who are actually being cut off from both their fuel points. Good harassment there by Dieter, at least decent harassment. T7 the strikes, immediately forcing retreat. No decent army here so far from Shadics. I mean, he could have tried pushing it for the Infosys Sherman, which certainly still packs a punch that has fallen a bit by the wayside in favour of other doctrines. Puncher strikes up here for Dieter's Panzer Grenadier. He's certainly worried about the armoured threat. No support McCoy yet from him though. Bit of skirmishing, heavy machine gun fire there. And here's snipers and aircraft after laying down murderous fire against any German infantryman foolish enough to expose himself. And these small push here, we got the T-34 moving, and there's now immediate Pack 40 support or Panzer support, and there you go, Fritz and Ludwig incinerated. And there you go, Katusha fire here, unleashing hell on there on the German mortar positions. Countering Dieter's mortar battery here, and there you go, full retreat. Johnny squad retreating through there to so actually managed to survive there as well, kind of lucky. Dog Pack Fortress, still no support McCall there for Dieter. Is he planning tier 4 here? And that's a bit risky, seeing how weak fuel support they have. But I mean, he's got double packs, he's got anti-tank weapons, he's not built the support McCall yet, despite he could have done so. So I suppose he might be playing for tier 4 there, which I have to certainly describe as highly risky. Now Shadics on then is going for more Katyushas. Like, he's not got a lot of infantry, he's only got one tank. So I feel like this committing to more Katyushas right now is a bit of a weird move there by Shadics. Even as Pantherfame also lacks infantry, it's not like a lot he can sort of directly support with all the artillery. I mean, he can bombard and kill some Germans, but he can't really easily take ground. So this second Katyusha there feels like a mistake by Shadics, to be honest. Definitely not what I'd advise. Pantherfame is focused on the ISU-152 though, that's for sure. Snar's going to beat out Kaster's unfortunate Fullscale. He does have one Oberstland squad out here. Some more hardened men. Probably some instructors from that SS training depots. Instructors there, some men with a bit more experience. Got the Overslaught sending out there. So far yet to really make any serious encounters with the enemy. But the Germans seem to slightly stabilise now. The lack of Russian infantry is, I think, proving to be quite detrimental, as it makes it hard for them to make any gains compared to the Germans, who do have enough infantry that can defend and push. And there you go, half track goes up in flames as Kenner's finally lands something resembling a kill. Almost got the Punic troops there taking up the hay mortar fire, almost there, and Grenadiers. Katyusha Father raining down again on the mortars. Direct hit taking out some of them. Forced retreat here for Detail once more, who's fine about as a Pommel Corps. So it was not a tier 4 move he was planning there. At which point, I have to say, he could have done that a bit faster. Victory points wise, so they're down to 233 versus 458. Looking a bit rough here. Cuff on the watch more being held down by the German army. You could consider some booby traps there. Got the T-34 going up through the centre here. Another T-34 there for Shadics. Pantherfame just floating again. He really wants that ISU, and he's willing to just, you know, risk other issues, as he feels like he can just pull through with the ISU once, you know, things come down to it. There you go. A Kenneth lands hitting the T-34. Second one gets a good hit as well. There we go. Harassment stop on the west side there. Sniper supporting a T-70. Interesting enough, he's not trying to say mine. Oh, there we go. Actually getting some mines up there. So it was a suggestion of maybe sort of mining up before that. So maybe might be able to bet some bait. There we go. Bait. Any tanks that are trying to pursue into them, sort of maybe, you know, catch them with something else. Oh, wait, Panther for them done here at Fort Dieter. First Panther for the Panzergruppe von Strachwitz. Machine gun pack, Panzerjägers, they're all just hiding out here. One heavy machine gun guarding about here, but with a pretty exposed flank. That is not the best position there by Shadics. Second T-34 mobilised here for the 2nd Guards Mechanised Corps. Still no Shems, and bit surprised is not going for any, since, you know, they are still pretty good. Particularly with a bit of veterans here, they're insane. Panther engaging the Dishka. A lot of Panthers there connecting with the T-34. Tearing off 1/3 of its health. Hey, machine gun team trying to escape. They cannot escape the Panzerwaffe. Shoot, Jürgen! Shoot! Deutschland demands blood! For what? Oh no, good things. Ken with a lot bit unfortunate there. His meat is about destroying. He actually still the other Ken. Let's go there for Kaster. He actually, oh, whoops. Handed a bunch of Ken there to the enemy. That is less good. Though it is very much a common move. A very common thing that happens, particularly in team games. Like if there's an Oberkommando Command versus player, inevitably, like, you know, half the enemy team's going to eventually have any of their anti-tank weapons be, you know, like Ken Methers. But Panther on the way there for Kaster. Bold move considering everything. You, of course, might want to be training there in preparation for the Panther being buffed for the Oberkommando vest. Oh, T-34 then more or less knocked out. Panther 4 though with a heavily damaged in. There you go. T-34 kaput. Rockets to kaputting about half the Panzerjägers. So the Russians have found themselves more and more in the defensive. Again, the lack of infantry, I think, is proving to be absolutely critical and detrimental to the third warfare. Veteran defeat sniper there, a real ace. And there we go. Got the ISU, the Schwerer boy out here for Pantherfame. Almost hopping out there. Kaster's Futzker squad. Disco machine gun added. On top of everything. Panther there trying to survive. You got the T-34 6 hot in pursuit. Panther driving here for Kaster moving up westwards with no infantry support we can see on the minimap. I definitely not advise that, as that is a highly risky move that easily could leave it, you know, dead. To put it mildly. Pioneers pulling ahead here, constantly nearby, ready to burn and murder. Another Panther 4 there almost done for Dieter. Kaster's gone for Luftwaffe. We got Panther engaging the ISU. Under support here from airborne assault. Fightmakers being dropped in as well. Absolutely bonkers here what he's doing. I mean, he's basically taking on an ISU with infantry support and everything else with his Panther unsupported. Except for the Luftwaffe here. So far, most of the support is anti-infantry support. Fightmakers popping down here from the skies. All of a sudden, moving up support here. Panther is really risky played here. And there you go. That's just being taken up by its own. But there you go. ISU takes some damage. Panther's taking more down to half health. Engineers push back. We got Valiant Assault now. He's just going all in on the doctrine out of nowhere. D to the remains without a doctrine, but he's pushing up the eastern side. There's Shadics on the defensive. Fudgemakers need to retreat. Panther roaming about. Oh, what are you... Kaster! It's got less than half health. He's going to go for it anyways. He's lost it. Don't worry, Sisters. Kopf still. It can resist everything. Oh, scheiße. Mostly anything. Main gun out on the Panther, though. Still, I guess it did some damage then. Gained some experience for the Panther, but that was incredibly risky there done by Kaster, because he's costing the Panther. Panther 4 being repaired. Their D2 remains without doctrine, though. At this stage, you could easily, afford assault support, maybe. Get some more blitzers, some air support, strafe those Russian bastards from above. But nothing, no sign of anything there. Gunnery's being pushed back here by the Dishka. More engineers for Shadics ARG. Orbs on there turning into the Gasp and the Sniper. There you go, gaining 82. Got desperate, I think, need to retreat the Orbs alone there. Panther already there for Dieter. Machine gun bunker up there. He's certainly fond of using bunkers. Got the mortar supporting his teammate in the west. I would say a pretty exposed position. Certainly something there Dieter needs to be careful about. Bit too far here. Snipers moving through. Folks are being rushed away. Mortars, I think, should just retreat in particular. That one is very close to just total annihilation. Got 279 versus 220. Germans are meant to close the gap in terms of victory points between the two. Guardsmen rolling forwards. We got a third guard squad out here by for Pantherfame, so it's taking the time. Shadics also, I think, got a bit more infantry, but still feels a bit short there compared to the Germans, who have a lot more infantry on the field. Oh dear, white. That cost Kaster a bit. This Panther, though, is good to go again. Quick engagement again. We go gaining veterans 1. And there you go, buttoning it up. A few shots on the front. Some bounce, some penetrate. Panther needs to be careful with the ISU about. Another bouncing hit there. Grenadiers advancing with Pioneer support. DT just hanging back. Even supporting, he's not saying armoured support, which I do feel is a bit of a missed opportunity there. He's also still not going for a doctrine. He really should be doing that. I mean, assault support could at least allow him, some air support overall, which could be helpful. Festering armour, artillery support, and Jaeger armour could offer the Stuka bomb drop. So I definitely feel like that's something that's been missed there by DT here. T7 there, veteran to 2, halfway to 3. ISU shoots, gets a single kill. Panther moving forwards though, supported by Kenmith. He's going for it again. Kaster knows no mercy, no restraint it seems. Gets the T-70, shot bounces from the ISU, is firing high explosive rounds. Panther falls back, Kaster's panning up, the risk it. He goes for it, Shoots, misses, gets buttoned up here, filters moving up support. Direct hit here, Panther in a bit of an awkward state again. He can actually go for another one soon enough. Shoots, misses. Panther needs to fall back. Scheiße, Blitzkrieg. This isn't how it's supposed to be used, Jorgen. It's supposed to attack this. Well, but sis, we get to fight another day. Nothing for going on in Dieter's base. He's got the resources. I think he might be just planning for a Tiger tank now. In which case, assault support, in which case you can also, pop in some air support. Shadics isn't making particular amount of progress. He's finally gone here for the M4C Sherman. So American hardware. Panzerjägers, they're being suppressed here by heavy machine gun fire. The heavy machine gun fire is also suppressing the Russian infantry. Now the Banger up here, Pack 4 ready to fire. Panther 4 ready to support as well. He's very close to the Tiger tank. But right here, some air support right now from assault support could do wonders, like a fragmentation bombing run or even some strafing run here at the right timing. Could really just throw off Shadic ARG. Back here, Panther being repaired. He could easily go for the second Panther now he wanted to, Kaster. He could easily, he lacks the manpower, but still, he's got the room for it. D2 super close. There's a Tiger tank. He's got the fuel. He's almost got the manpower. Unit lost there for Kaster again. Infantry biting the dust. And there you go. He should more or less almost have the resource now for the Tiger tank, but D2 there remains reluctant, it would seem. Orbs on there being pushed back, despite artillery support here from Dieter and his own Leichters Infanteriegeschütz. Pushing for the eastern victory point here. The Kampfgruppe von Starkwitz advances against the second guards, make a nice score. I mean, he can go for it now. I mean, he could, I suppose, be going for the elephant, but the elephant, right, he just, I don't know. Seems a bit ill cooked. There we go. He was planning for the Tiger tank in the end. But again, I would say he really could have benefited a lot more from that Doctrine sooner air support. Opal blitzes, offers, all of these would have been great for him, and he just feels a bit like a waste. Though he's still got a lot of munitions just to spend on air support if he wants to. Either way, Tiger tank mobilised here for Dieter for Deutschland. Panther here close to efficiency 2. Kaster advances for the fatherland. We got Panther striking into the basic, going for the armour. Gets the M4C Sherman. Oh dear. Better loss there for Shadics. He did not anticipate his opponent was sneaking up to his base actually attack there. Ballsy, but I would say effective there by D-Tap. Panther up on the west side here. And Eshin a 6 out here for Pantherfame. Interesting. Is Kaster playing for a King Tiger now? That seems... he can do it. Just not necessarily what I recommend. Another techno machine gun to cover the victory point there. Center one being nabbed by the Russians. He's attempted nabbed. Got some movement up here. Grenades going off. Almost taking a guard squad there. Panther moving in. Supported by the Obersoldaten. I think Dieter could afford to try and maybe support his team in a bit more, but I'm guessing it's just, waiting for Shadics to make his next attack before he tries anything big. Kachusa moving up. T-Fed rolling in. Straight into the Tiger tank. Where's T heavy fighting going on? Gasp there. Oh, blend cub on it, and there you go, allowing the Panther to go for the Action 6. Shoots, hits, gains 52 up there. Another hit there on the Panther. ISU moving in. Air support calling, got a strafing run in there. T-Fed 4 left on its own, his name seems to be suppressed here. Another T-Fed 4 out here. Panther going for the ISU. Gets caught around front of it. Air support called in. Penetrating it, another Panther. ISU down to half health. H6 is missed here. Panther going to go for the other one. He's trying to flank around. There you go. Blitzkrieging as well, just for that increased speed up. Panther's also supposed to do more damage, at least allowed to do more damage, so far not looking good here. Panther's almost down. Panther's almost on. There you go. Oh, anti-tank strafe there, moved in. Second one goes in, gets the ISU, got a fragmentation bombing run called in here on the nearby Kettenwerfer. Whew. Heavy activity here from the Luftwaffe. It takes out the Kettenwerfer. Panther escapes halfway to Veterancy 3. Looking pretty bad here for the Russian army now. Panther 4 Tiger tank there moving away. Another hit there, Kettenwerfer bypassed by the Action 6. The Panther escapes to this base here. And there you go, Action 6 gone. Pantherfame with no vehicles. And there you go, they surrender. A rather heavy loss there for the Russian army. Initially doing so strong, denying fuel, but seemingly unable to realistically pull ahead with the Siz's advantage. Some mistakes here and there, tactically and strategically. Also a lack of info as the game went on, whereas the Germans maintained a strong infantry contingent, allowing them to be more aggressive, slowly turn the game against the Russians as the match progressed. And I really think like Shadics AG made a mistake in going for double Katyushas there. Like he only needed one and should have pushed for more armor and preferably I think faster, more Shermans. But also he just kept attacking. He never tried that after that to really just attack elsewhere, outmaneuver his opponents. So in that regard, it also became much easier for DC to defend and just defeat Shadics AG. So there definitely I think some issues there on a tactical level. And Pantherfame I think should have taken up to provide heavier support for his ISU. So I think there's some issues there with forced composition and tactical moves and strategic moves there by the Russians. The match progressed. Was again strong early game, really strong. Germans definitely, I think, made some mistakes there, but the Germans were able to slowly tough it out and just turn the game around. So a nice comeback there from the German army. So I do hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, tell friends, share it with everyone. If you want to, you can send a replay as well. Links are in the video description. They do provide details as to where on the leaderboards, map, and who's in the match as well. The more details, the more likely makes you look at it, because I'm not just going to take a look at a replay. I have absolutely no idea who's from and what's in it. So this is Imperial Dane signing off. See you all tomorrow for another episode. Cheers.